Hey y'all, so it's been a while. This is how I'm going to start all of my Facebook Lives. It's been a while. Maybe that's it. Then I should start a podcast. It's been a while by Babs. Anyway, let me flip my camera. There it is. Here's where I am. I'm out for a hike, sitting amongst this rock with this amazing view. The nice being serenaded by the plane sound going overhead. So see that V down there, that upside down V or whatever, that's where I came from. I came up that way. And this right here, we're in the center kind of the view. This is where I've been staying. I've been in the same place for a month. I've been at this place in Southern California in San Marcos called FromQuesthaven. And it's been really amazing. It's been everything, actually. It's been amazingly restorative. It's a very sacred place, very intentionally so. I've been hiking a lot out here in these amazing hills and just really reconnecting to the power of... Hey, Sharon. Hey, how are you? Oh, my goodness. So really just reconnecting to the power of nature and to the importance of the connection to nature for myself. And I would venture to guess for humans in general. And I know for me, I get so stuck in my head and all the shit that goes on there, all the fears, all the stuff. So I'm leaving today. I'm heading out to Albuquerque. It's sort of a random and strange reason. I've been wanting to apply for global entry, which is the TSA Trusted Traveler program. And in order to do that, you have to have an interview. And because of COVID, they're hard to come by. And just randomly, Albuquerque had a bunch of available appointments in January. So I was like, well, I'm mobile. I'll go to Albuquerque. And it feels good to get back on the road. And yeah, what's come alive for me, and I've probably talked about this before. Judy, hey Judy. I have no idea what I'm doing, which sometimes is really exciting and freeing. And other times I question my sanity and I'm like, what the hell kind of life is this? Like, what am I doing? I thought when I was coming out here, I would be finding a place that felt right to settle and make my new home, right? And that doesn't seem to be what's happening. It might be. I mean, it's early. It's kind of early. I don't know. It's been 5 months almost that I've been on the road. And, it's the complete roller coaster. And I think we're all on a roller coaster right now. It's an intense roller coaster collectively, what's happening with the pandemic and all of that. So I'm just kind of living out my version of it in a very wacky way. But you know what? I'm not alone. I can't tell you how many people I've met or heard about or know of kind of in my life that have a similar situation. They're not currently in a stable home. They're living out of their car. They're living at friends. They're, getting RVs, considering getting RVs, so it's really interesting what's happening. And I think this is part of I think this whole pandemic, right? It's like a huge collective shift out of our old way of being into a new way of being that none of us knows what it is. And it's scary as hell because we're only used to what we're used to. What's that saying? Better the devil you know than the devil you don't, which assumes that they're both devils. I mean, we know for certain that what we know was a devil. Wasn't working. I mean, there was things in it that were working for some of us, for many of us, but things that were not working at all for many of us. So now we're getting to live through this time of all the old structures falling, which is scary when it's the only structures you know, right? Like the healthcare system, good Lord. Gosh, there's just so many pieces to that. I've been my whole adult life since I graduated college. Sharon, one of my former college buddies, is here watching. Graduated college in 85. And, as a physical therapist and in the healthcare system. And that's when HMOs were just coming into being, which feels so ancient. I mean, I should be like, yes, I was carving on a stone tablet my notes. Anyway, and my trajectory has been, I started out very conventional in that paradigm, and then my journey has been moving out of that paradigm into the recognition of, the body mind connection. A lot of people, mind body, all of that stuff, how our body isn't just a physical structure that with physical parts that things can go wrong with. And that's what our healthcare paradigm is, right? That's what our entire healthcare system is. It recognizes that stress can have an impact on health. I think that's about as far as it goes. But what I've learned is that the body is just like, it's a manifestation of your psyche, of your emotions, of your beliefs. And so this virus, the more it's addressed solely, collectively, through, here's this virus that's trying to kill us, and the only way to deal with it is through a vaccine that some human had to create somewhere that we then inject into our bodies. Like, that's the only solution. It's such a small piece of the puzzle, or a piece of the pie. So, the people that don't want to get the vaccine, I think many of them, I can't speak for all of them. I have a lot of friends that won't get the vaccine, and that I really respect that, because their paradigm is different. And they just can't go along with that paradigm. And there are valid concerns about the toxicity of the vaccine, which I think, anytime there's a divisive issue where both sides are unwilling to look or consider the other side's opinions or beliefs, then that's a problem. And we see that everywhere, in all kinds of issues, right? I don't even want to go into all of them. But the one that pops to mind is abortion, gun rights, gun control, all of those. It's like when you're not willing to listen to the other side, and it's just, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, you're a bad person for not believing what I believe, then this is what we're living and seeing, right? And so it's so important to try to hold the middle ground and listen to each other and listen to ourselves. So I'll get personal now. Like, this is my journey here. Being here at QuestHaven for the past month, it's so quiet here. And I've had a lot of time to hike and to go in and to be with stuff, which I knew that's what happened when I came here. And at first, I felt like it was helping me, like all of the chatter, all of the stuff quieted. And so I was more calm and more quiet and felt good. But then what happens is the stuff that's under there, that's unresolved, that you haven't looked at, that you're not aware of, can then come up. And that's where shit gets real. So the past week or so, it's been rough. And I also, as a healer, as this is my paradigm, like, this is what needs to happen to clear out all the stuff. For me, it's all still more of the trauma healing from when I was a kid. And God, you'd think, however many years later, I would have cleared it all out by now. But I've only really known about it and been able to get at the real truth of it for the past 3 years. So it's really kind of, it's on target. And I don't want it to be, because I'm tired. I'm almost 60, for God's sake, and I'm tired. And I know it's what needs to happen. So it's happening. It's ugly. It's scary. It's messy. And it ain't pretty. And it's what needs to happen. So yeah, so I'm heading out on the road today. I'm a combination of excited and scared. I feel shaky emotionally. So, being out on the road with all the unknowns, right? When you're feeling good, it's awesome. It's just like, woohoo, road trip, and what am I going to experience? And, you have that sense of like, I got this. But when I'm like I am today, kind of shaky, I'm just kind of like, ooh, what's this going to be like? If something happens, will I be able to manage it? So this is life, right? You can't always, with the full moon recently, I've been working with a woman who talks about a moon process, where on the full moons, you create a release statement of something that you're trying to release from your life. And then on the new moon, you create a statement that's something you want to embody in your life. And I am. So it could be like, if you're I don't know, like I am safe, or I am lovable, or whatever it is that's alive in your life around the time of the new moon, you create an I am statement that you want to embody in your life. And then on the full moon, you create a release statement, what you need to release in order to allow that to be embodied. So my full moon release statement this time was, I release wishing it was any different. And it's intense, because when you create these statements, what happens is anywhere that needs to shake up in order for that to happen comes up. So for me, it's like wishing anything was different. Like even what happened to me as a kid, there are so many times when I wish that didn't happen, but or I wish conditions were different, that I would have been able to get the support at the time that I needed. And then current day, it's like wishing I was different. The reactions I have to things sometimes I don't like, and then the behaviors that come up based on that I don't like. I wish it was different. I wish I reacted differently. And also wishing I knew what I was doing with my life. So there's all this wishing that things were different, right? And so my release now is I release wishing anything was different. It's powerful, actually. There's a relief in it, and there's also, all the stuff comes up where I get confronted with things that I wish were different. And I get to go, I release wishing that this was different, and just settle into the reality and the truth of it. So that's the update. Wonder if any of this resonates with you. Like, play with, the whole moon thing, if it's powerful, because we are influenced by that stuff, whether we want to believe we are or not. We are nature. We think we're separate from nature, but we're not. We're affected by all of the stuff. So you can either, you can play with it, you can be in partnership with it, or you can just let it impact you without even knowing it. So I invite you to that practice if it feels right. I also just wonder how your life is going these days. It's intense times. With the new year, there's like this feeling of like, oh, phew, maybe this year will be better. Maybe this is when things will turn around and get easier. Not my experience so far. So, I know we're all collectively exhausted. A lot of loss, just a lot of stuff, So it's really a tender time. So, sending you lots of love, and just keep on. My advice, if you're looking for any, if you're open to any, is just be with what's coming up for you. Try to find the way to be willing to go there. I was talking to a friend recently, and there's this whole like, oh, I don't want to go there, or things that we avoid going into. And it's like, you have to go there, because there's a there. And if you don't go there, then the there's just going to stay there. So the only way for the there not to be there is to go there. So there's my bit of wisdom for the day. So, hitting the road to Albuquerque. I have no idea where I'm going from there. But I trust, I don't know, today it's trust with a question mark. Some days it's like trust. Maybe it's a hope today, and trust that once I get out there, something will become clear to me as far as where I want to go next. So I may be leaving another update sooner rather than later with that. And in the meantime, I would love to hear from you if you want to put something in the comments about how you're doing. And, let's all just sort of hold each other and support each other as we go through this intense time. All right, love you all. I'll talk to you again soon. All right, where's the finish? This is always the thing. How do you end? How does Babs end a video? Where's the finish button? Oh, Betty's here. Jess is here. Oh, my goodness. Sharon. Oh, I wish I was looking to see when you guys came on. So cool. Hi, you all. All right, talk to you soon.